To France now, where more protests are underway against the government's plans to raise the retirement age. These are live pictures of protesters facing off with police in Rennes. Demonstrators have also blocked ramps and roads outside of Charles de Gaulle Airport near Paris, forcing passengers to get there on foot. In other cities, union members have been blocking roads. They're all demanding Macron drop the pension bill, something he refused to do in a public address on Wednesday. Let's bring in our correspondent, Natasha Butler. She's joining us live from Paris. So what's happening where you are, Natasha?
Well, I'm sure you can see behind me there are thousands of people filling this square, the Place de la Bastille in central Paris. They're going to be walking across the city shortly. I think in front, the front of the demonstration has already left, but there are people still coming in to this square from all around. There's been a lot of disruption today. It is another nationwide strike and protest day, the 9th since the beginning of the year, and that's affecting across the public sector, transport hubs, education, health services. Garbage is still piling up in Paris. A lot of anger over President Macron's pension reform bill, which will raise the retirement age. But not only that, people are now angry over the method by which President Macron's government pushed this bill through Parliament, bypassing lawmakers and MPs. They forced it through by decree. People say that just shows that President Macron cares. Not only does he not care, I should say, about people in the street and their concerns, but he also doesn't care about France's institutions, they say, about lawmakers, about opposition and critics, that he only cares about what he wants.
And interestingly, he was saying that what he wants is progress for the country in his televised address, and that he doesn't care about his popularity because he can't run for president again. Just how vulnerable is he?
There's no doubt that President Macron is under a lot of pressure socially and politically. Look, politically, it was just a few days ago that Macron's government just about survived a no-confidence motion in Parliament by just a few votes because of the level of anger and opposition and criticism in the Parliament. Now, that's going to make it very difficult to go forward with other legislation in the future because there are so many divisions in Parliament and so much animosity towards the government and President Macron. President Macron says that this reform is fundamental in order to sustain the pension system for the future. As you said, he says, I don't care about my popularity. What's important is my duty to the country. He said those things in a television interview, but that interview has really added fuel to the fire, if you like, because he gave no concessions to any of his opponents. He said he wouldn't reshuffle his cabinet. He wouldn't, for example, change his prime minister. That has inflamed tensions and passions even more, if you like. So it's very interesting to see which way things are going to go. The government and Macron, of course, would like these protests to fizzle out. But demonstrators are saying that even though this bill is on its way to becoming a law, they don't care. They're going to continue to go out in the streets because they want to put enough pressure on the government so that it scraps its reform.
Natasha, thank you very much for that. That is Natasha Butler joining us with the very latest from the protests in Paris.